Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone at home, young boys, girls, daddies, mommies. Welcome to the best 30 minutes of your life on TV. And we're looking forward to the Super Eagles making us proud in Cameroon. All right, my name is Yor, and I'm glad to be here today. It's a little bit different. I'm just standing, it's just for a short while, and I'm sure that Tolu will take his rightful position. But it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's edition of We Move with Super Eagles, a program made possible by the official communication partners of the Super Eagles, MTN. And of course, we have them all seated, waiting. We have with us the tall, beautiful princess. What's all that for? Ladies and gentlemen, I have with us here Osarime Inegbenabo. Please a round of applause for her. Please a round of applause.
Yes. Tolu, can you help pronounce my name?
Tolu, you should learn to hide. And Tolu, I'm introducing you last. And the last. And of course, I have here with us the man with the muscle. Can we just see that? Yes, that's him. He loves to eat chicken and salad a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Bada Akitunde Johnson. And the man that is the anchor, the man that is actually steering the ship, ladies and gentlemen, Tolu Shotade.
It is very, very, very unusual, I have to say, for someone to introduce me on the show. But who better than introduce me than you?
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad doing this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we take this quick break, and once we get back, the discussion will start proper. And after that, you guys have something coming from MTN.
Feel the thrills, and the grills of African football as we move with the Super Eagles of Nigeria to the Summit of African Football come January 2022 in Cameroon, the land of the indomitable Lions. Catch all the excitement on and off the field of play as MTN, official communication partner of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, counts down to the African World Cup as we move with the Super Eagles. For more details, follow us on @MTNNG, @MTN Nigeria, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Welcome, MTN, everywhere you go.
All right, welcome back. It is still We Move with Super Eagles, proudly brought to you by MTN, the official communications partners of Nigeria's national teams, and most especially the team we will be supporting come January the 9th at the African Championships, the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But today on the show, we will be celebrating the guys who have made the African tournament their bread and butter, the most capped players at the African tournament. And guys, they do not come. These are guys who some people might know. Some have gone under the radar so much that they've attended so many tournaments that people really do not remember them. But we'll bring all of them into the light today. We'll start first and foremost with the erstwhile Cameroonian captain, a man who is very famed for his exploits with the indomitable Lions. It's none other than former captain Rigobert Song, and he was manager of Cameroon at a time, then had a bit of medical issues, but he's fine now. He is arguably one of the toughest of defenders to have ever graced the African tournament.
Without a doubt, and he was very accomplished as well. I think he played for Liverpool.
Yep.
Solid player.
If you could get past Rigobert Song, you're a really
could get
good
past
player.
anyone, yeah. He was the quintessential African central defender in that they are expected to be as tough as nail, and he was. Hardly ever missed a game due to injury, an ever-present, which is why he racked up that many games at the Africa tournament. I can't remember a game in which Rigobert Song wasn't flirting with a yellow card or even a red card because he took no prisoners. He would go in hard with the tackles and left no one in doubt as to what his intentions were. Clear the lines at any point in time. Clear the lines.
All right, let's go to what's an African Championships countdown, especially most capped player, without talking about an Egyptian. And this one ranks up amongst the very best of Egyptian players. None other than Hossam Hassan of Egypt. He was best player at the African Championships in 2006 and in 2010. Here's that player who you don't remember his flashes at an African championship, but you can never forget his name, Ahmed Hassan.
So actually, Ahmed Hassan has attended 8 African tournaments and won 4.
Won 4.
Yes, and he actually led Egypt to their 6th win, to their sixth African tournament win. So, I mean, you can't talk about...
Very passionate guy. He
Very
celebrates
passionate.
like he scored in the World Cup.
Yes, he does. And actually, he's actually the 3rd most capped international footballer in history. And he did quite a lot. I mean, you can talk about Egyptian football and not talk about him. Like you said already, he won 2006, 2010 best player at the African tournament. So whenever you talk about the African tournament, talk about history, talk about the heroes at the tournament, you can't but mention Ahmed Hassan.
All right, let's move back and go back to Cameroon, where the African tournament will be held this time around, and talk about another man. And this one played for Real Madrid at the height of his powers. Jeremy Injitap has a sweet foot, could hit a free kick really well. Scored a couple of free kicks at the African tournament, if I remember. Also won the tournament with Cameroon on 2 occasions. And he is one guy who I wasn't quite sure what he was at the start of his career. I wasn't sure whether he was a defensive midfielder or was just a central midfielder. Yeah. But he played for Real Madrid. That should count for something.
Played for Chelsea as well, if you remember.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, solid player. Could play right back, slotting in central midfield. Could also play out wide. I thought it was underrated for the kind of talent that he had. For you to be that player with that sort of utility value to the team, slotting when the manager... In fact, I remember Jose Mourinho used to like him so much when he was at Chelsea, just because he could fill in wherever he wanted him to play. And he would score the odd, spectacular goal, like you said, free kicks, long-range shots. Jeremy Injitap, had all of those in his locker. And for the Cameroonian national team, was one of the leaders of the team, led them to, I think, 2 titles. Yeah, 2 titles. I mean, not one of the most celebrated, because he looked like an N'Golo Kante. There was nothing memorable.
But his value to the team.
There was nothing memorable about his looks, but he was an ever-present, and he brought quality and drove the team to titles.
All right, let's go to the Ivory Coast next and talk about this man. Not a lot of goalkeepers get on this list, but Boubacar Barry is not one of the goalkeepers you expect to get on a list of most capped players. I didn't like him when he first started in goal for the Ivory Coast. I felt like the Ivory Coast had a star-studded team, and then they had a small goalkeeper.
Tolu, please don't say that. This is like disrespect to people of height. Anyways, personally, I don't think that he really performed so greatly all through his career. But I think he's on the list because of the 2015 win with Ivory Coast. Because I remember in 2012, he was in goal when Ivory Coast lost that final to Zambia, and I think 8-7 penalties. So then he came back in 2015, and that was why I think even the coach reasoned the same way as you did, because he was benched for the most part of the tournament. But he came when the goalkeeper picked up that injury in the semi-finals, and then he came and saved 2 penalties and then scored the winning penalty. So, I mean, of course, he's a hero. He scored a penalty, Tolu, so respect him. Thank you very much. All
right, we do respect him. We stay in the Ivory Coast for now. We'll go to another man who I remember growing up. He had a funny... His surname used to resonate with my dad because he apparently knew an Ivorian player from back in the day who had that exact name. Siaka Tiene, he also played for the Ivory Coast, part of the squad that won it in 2015. Played for PSG before the millions came, but PSG is still a huge club in France. He also has racked up a lot of appearances at the African tournament.
Yeah, was an ever-present with the golden generation of Ivorian football, alongside the Didier Drogbas and the Yaya Tourés of this world. One of those very efficient ones, because when you have a team of superstars, you need some players who are not desperate to hog the headlines, who are focused on doing their work, who are the backbone of the team, and then the rest of the superstar players are like, adornment. They are like what you use to garnish a good dish. This guy was, the staple. He was the guy who kept it consistent, did all the dirty work, and allowed the rest of the superstars to shine.
All right, we'll stay in the Ivory Coast. They've got a lot of players on this list. Next up is Kolo Touré. A lot of people remember him from his time at Arsenal. Did play for Manchester City and also Liverpool. It's not a small feat to do, to play for all 3 of those really strong English teams. He also has his stint, 120 appearances for the Ivory Coast. Made a lot of appearances at the African tournament.
Yeah, he did, and that's why he's the 2nd most capped Ivory Coast international. But
and dropping stats today. Wow.
Anyways, I mean, personally, I remember him more from club side because, I mean, he played during the time of the Invisibles for your people, Arsenal. And, of course, he played for Man City. I mean, he was part of the squad that helped us lift our first title in 44
Who's
years.
us?
Who
are we?
Me. Citizen. Do we have any citizens? We. So, I mean, I remember him from majorly from club football. But, I mean, he did perform for country. I mean, he was part of the squad as well that won for 2015. So, yeah, he's a legend.
All right, a man who, if you put a goalkeeper in this equation, this man is probably what to be at the very top. Probably one of the best ever goalkeepers to come out of the African continent. Now played in Europe, I think that's the only problem I had with him. But hey, he's from Egypt, so it really doesn't count. They already enjoy their careers playing back home. 159 appearances. Essam El Hadari, 1998, 2006, 2008, and 2010. But he has won that many African titles.
Yeah, easily one of the most decorated African players in history, because all of the while that he was racking up those African titles, he was also winning at club level.
CAF Champions League.
For Al-Ahly. Wasn't the most spectacular goalkeeper. He was just very steady, very reliable in goal. And he was the goalkeeper of the golden generation of Egyptian football, especially after having not won for a very long time. They came back and won in a few years, and he just didn't want to ever retire. He kept coming back and breaking his own record for the oldest goalkeeper at the competition.
All right.
And he had a glorious career, without a doubt.
All right, without a doubt, he had a glorious career. Honorable mention before we take a break. Of course, Asamoah Gyan, the great Ghanaian, mixed feelings in Ghana about him, but they make up that list, that the first set of guys we're looking at as the most capped African players at the African Championship. So hold the thought for a bit. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the second set of African stars who have graced the African tournament. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
If I buy this bully, now trekking be my portion. We do. It be like say they happen for there. Almost level. No darling. After all of us now visitor. Oh boy, now me the one place with 7 times a woof. Bros don't get 5 times a woof. And this I don't collect 6 times a woof. This one now, woof everywhere you go.
Whether you be new or old MTN customer, turn up a woof with the boss spray everywhere you go.
Bobby, make una show.
All right, welcome back. It is Still We Move with Super Eagles, proudly brought to you by MTN, the official communications partners of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So let's continue our countdown of the 17 most capped players at the African Fiesta. We'll continue. We'll go to Mali next, the only Malian player on the list. Seydou Keita played for Barcelona, but everyone remembers him. Very talented. I think played in a youth tournament here in Nigeria. It was very evident to see from a very young age that he was going to appear at a lot of African fiestas.
Without a doubt, one of my favorite African footballers of all time. Saw him at Nigeria 99, knew he was a special kid. Then he went on from there, played in Europe. The highlight of his career, obviously, was playing for Pep Guardiola in the center of midfield. Kept it tidy, super intelligent, very shrewd ball user, could pass it long or short, and scored his fair share of goals as well. A legend of African football, without a doubt. Unfortunately, never won the competition, but it's hard to forget him.
It's very hard to forget him. One of the men that we can make an honorable mention for is Rabat Maja. Nigerians will remember him from the Algiers 90 African Fiesta. He was the star of the Algerian team at the time, and they won that tournament, beating Nigeria in the final. Move away from Rabat Maja, the Algerian, and we move to the next man on the list, and he is Mehiaddin Mefta. He also is Algerian, another Algerian to look ahead to on that list. He also was part of the tournament, the team that won the tournament in 1990. We'll go to Ivory Coast next. Also, Didier Sokora plays. I think a lot of people who are used to watching the Premier League saw a lot of him at Tottenham Hotspur, box to box, had a shot on him, and was part of that golden generation of the Ivorians. Unfortunately, though, he missed that title-winning year when the Ivorians won the title.
Yeah, he was great for club. For country, I don't really think he turned up because if I try to remember his entire career, I think he had just one goal. But what fantastic defender.
Tried to play him midfield,
Defensive midfield. Really.
defensive midfield, play central defense at some point.
Yeah, I know. But like I said, I mean, for club, I know he really did great. The name on a lot of people's lips. But we're talking about the African tournament, and yeah, they missed that opportunity to clinch victory, and I really don't think he really turned up for country as he should.
All right, Solomon Kalou, another Ivorian, lots of them on this list. That just tells you, Bana, that they had such a young team. They grew together and attended so many African tournaments together.
Yeah, the essence of this tournament is not to come with a different team each time. It's to have, a bunch of fantastic footballers who can make multiple appearances, and it's the recipe for winning. It's how Nigeria built the winning team in the early 90s. It's how the Egyptians sustained, a tradition of winning title after title, the Cameroonians as well.
It's one of the very few Egyptians to ply their trade away from the African continent back in the day. Hani Ramsey, he was part of the team that won it in 1998. Honorable mention for him. You remember him, Bana?
Oh, of course.
At Jerry Curls that year.
Yeah, and then he used to play with a bead on his neck. Fine boy player, very graceful. I used to call him the Frank Rijkaard of Egyptian football. Fantastic, graceful footballer. Was elegant with the ball to his feet.
All right, so Andre Ayew is the next man on the list, a Ghanaian international. It's not all the time that you're related or directly the son of another African legend. As far as Ghanaians are concerned, he's a legend. Maybe we don't think he's a legend just yet. No, let's go to the final man on the list, and the one who no one will believe has never scored a goal at the African tournament. Kanu Nwankwo made 6 appearances for Nigeria, Ose. But how on earth did he not score a goal? That still baffles me.
It's quite surprising, but I mean...
Mr. Penalty also.
It probably just was never ever his time because, I mean, when you talk about Kanu Nwankwo, you talk about his technicality, you talk about his dribbling ability, you expect that he should be a prolific goal scorer at that kind of tournament. But surprisingly, he never scored a goal, not to now talk of being the top goal scorer of any of the tournaments. So it was quite surprising, but, well, I mean, it's still Kanu Nwankwo, so we'll still respect him at the end of the day.
Can you make a case for him?
No, it's hard. Never really grabbed a single tournament by the scruff of the neck at the height of his powers. Even after he came back 99 from that scare, the heart surgery, and 2000 right here, he was actually one of the best players, but just never scored. I remember that particular tournament was Tijani Babangida and Agawa that scored most of our goals. He provided assists. Case in point, quarterfinal 2004 against Cameroon. That sweet pass that split the Cameroonian defense for John Utaka to score. But he just never scored himself.
All right, so we went to the streets and asked Nigerians, as you can see that list, there's so many Africans, but just the one Nigerian, Kanu Nwankwo. We asked them, how on earth does only one Nigerian get on that list?
We move with Super Eagles, brought to you by MTN, the official communication sponsors of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I am with the man himself, the proprietor of Mo Grills here in Lagos. Street food this very, very beautiful afternoon. Brother, how are you?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, now, so Mo Grills, real quick. Do you know of a player they call Kanu Nwankwo?
Yeah. He was a former player of Super Eagles in Nigeria.
Fantastic. Now, Kanu Nwankwo was named as as a matter of fact, that's the only Nigerian with the most appearances at the biggest African football tournament. How do you feel about that?
He's kind of a good player with good image. He made this Super Eagle amazing when he was playing for Nigeria, and he also collects world player. And he's kind of he's good. He knows how to play ball very well. Kanu is such a good player that we can never forget the Super Eagle.
Kingsley, how do you feel about this, that Kanu Nwankwo is the only Super Eagle that is represented on this list as the player that has the most appearances at the biggest footballing fiesta?
Yeah, as a Nigerian and as a true African, I think Kanu Nwankwo on the list is really an excellent thing for Nigerians as a whole and Africans. We still have the likes of other footballers that are really good. We have Odio Igalo, we also have Rashidi Yekini, the likes of them. So I think it's a really good one. They should have, most people should have made the list, including Mikel Obi and the rest, but they missed out. But it's all fine. Kanu is good for everybody.
You know a player called Kanu Nwankwo, yes?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Oh, so he's your favorite Nigerian footballer of all time. However, Kanu Nwankwo is the only Nigerian that was named as a player that has the most appearances at the biggest African footballing tournaments. What is your reaction to that? The fact we only have one Nigerian on that list.
Wow, that's a landmark, and it will set us like a pace setter for other Nigerian footballing players to also set or to break that kind of record as well.
All-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, and listen to music. Enjoy Ayoba with MTN. Download Ayoba now.
All right, I'm sure you enjoyed your last time out. Well, he's back on We Move with Super X, like you saw in the intro. And he is taking over the Game On segment. Let's find out what he's got in store for us this week.
Thank you. All right, for those at home, in case you're just joining, we Move with Super Eagles as the show. And of course, yes, it's brought to you by MTN. Now, the segment that we're about to see right now is Game On. All right, and then, but I need two people to volunteer. Two people to volunteer first, then I'll tell you what you're doing. Two volunteers. Okay, 1, 2. Please, let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. I've got these freebies from MTN, and then you dey play ball. This one that your leg is long like this. You play ball, you dey try. You play ball, they won't see you on the pitch safe. You are too round and too brief. Okay, so it's just simple. What you're going to do is I'll throw the ball from there, and I want to see you chest the ball into the net. All right? Shift. All right. So you're going first. Let's see. Don't be boxing. No. Why are you doing hand like this? It's not boxing. All right. Chest it in. Oh. Sorry. This is the kind you people should do. You never even fail. You don't fear. Your belly? All right. Let's see. Ja. Now truly. Truly. Your case is where belly face. Because actually your tummy was facing that side. Though. So now where belly face? What's there? Is it not just... Thank you so much. I'm sorry you're not going with the good either. I'm sorry. Please a round of applause for them. So maybe someone else will win this next week, or I go home. I must go home with this. I must go home with this. I'm going with this. So back to the guys.
Thank you very much, y'all, for coming on the show. We had a lot of fun with you on the episode today. But by that, more stars will be created at this African Fiesta, though.
Without a doubt, that excites me about the Nigerian team particularly. A lot of debutants who can maybe stay around for 4 or 5 more championships. And we do hope that some of them write their names alongside the legends of this tournament.
All right, thank you, Bana, and thank you, Ose. And yo, we see you again next time?
Yes.
All right, so that's been the show. My name is Tolusho. That has been We Move with Super Eagles, proudly brought to you by MTN, the official communications partners of Nigeria's national football teams, and most especially the team we will be supporting at the African Fiesta, the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Until next time, we'll see you guys.